Hello everyone, TMMgamer here, and today I have the pleasure to bring you another one of my FIFA 13 videos. Now today's video, as you can see from the title, is going to be about the FIFA Handicap. But before I get into that, I just want to tell you a little bit about the gameplay. Now this is quite an old match between me and my mate John, and I'm FC Bayern in this and he's PSG. And this is a really interesting game because I have a lot of guys message me saying, what do you do against a player who likes to pass it around? And my mate John spends all day knocking the ball around. He would never get bored. He could pass the ball along his back four till the cows came home. He just loves doing it. So this is a really good example of how to just stay tight, not get sucked in, just let him play in front of you. And I end up getting quite a cheeky victory in the end. So get the spoilers out the way early. But like I said earlier, this commentary is not going to be about the gameplay. It's going to be about the dreaded and the infamous FIFA Handicap. Now, EA are absolutely adamant that there isn't a FIFA Handicap. They go, no there isn't. It's complete rubbish. We don't script the game at all. It is all about who plays well on the day wins the match. And for some people that's enough, you know, they just take EA at face value. They go, obviously there isn't a handicap, and that's the end of the discussion for them. But when you actually sit and look at FIFA and the results and what happens and just the complete randomness, it's either going to be two things: absolutely horrendous game design or scripting. Because even just looking through some of my videos, and the most obvious one is the Rage video that I uploaded a couple of weeks back, I absolutely took that guy to the cleaners. I battered him. And then for no reason, Iker Casillas just lets the ball slide past him. You know, the highest rated keeper on the game can't deal with a 3-mile-an-hour back pass from Gerard Piqué. I hit the bar, hit the post, hit the bar again, had one cleared off the line, bobble around, and he scores the jammiest goal of all time. You know, one ball scrapes through 5 of my players and he puts it in the bottom corner, no problems. And things like this happen a lot in FIFA. I mean, you just sit there and you see it happen time after time, and there's no way to explain it. You'll have defenders get pushed off the ball by people half their strength. You'll have 5-foot guys beat. I mean, the funniest picture I've seen is one on Facebook of about 5'3" Sean Wright-Phillips beating Per Mertesacker in the air. And Sean Wright-Phillips has jumped higher than anyone has ever managed to jump in recorded human history to win that header. And you just sit there and think, this would never happen. And there's so many random little foibles in FIFA that can only really be explained by the handicap. But like I mentioned earlier, EA are absolutely 100% adamant that there isn't a handicap. However, there are a couple of things that they've done which lets me cast a little bit of doubt on that. Firstly, if you mention the handicap or scripting on their forums, you are immediately and permanently banned. Now, if there wasn't a handicap, why would EA find the need to censor people on the forums? If there isn't a handicap, why could they not just go, no, you're wrong, and here's the proof, here's our scripting. You know, you can clearly see there isn't any scripting at all. You know, it's all just done on game mechanics and who plays well. The very fact that they go out to openly censor people who talk about this is evidence enough for me to suggest that something a little fishy is going on. Because the only reason people censor other people is to suppress viewpoints that they don't want to get out and ideas that they don't want to get out. And like I mentioned earlier, if EA really are correct when they say that there isn't a handicap, why would they actively go out of their way to censor people who post otherwise? I find that very, very strange. So you've got EA cracking down on people who even dare to talk about the fact that there might be a handicap, which is pretty strange in itself. But in addition to this, if you go back and have a look at FIFA 09, in the manual they have a very nice paragraph about momentum. And what they say in this momentum paragraph is, if you're having a bad spell in the game, your players will run slower or have worse first touch, etc, etc, etc. So, in a previous FIFA, they openly admit that they have a mechanic in there which artificially changes how players react, and artificially changes the difficulty and stacks the odds in one player's favour regardless of skill level. So they openly admit to having a similar mechanic which could very, very easily be modified into a handicap in a previous FIFA. So So far, you've got EA actively censoring people who talk about the handicap and the fact that there might be one. And then you've got, in a previous FIFA, in FIFA 09, they had a clearly stated game mechanic which artificially changes the difficulty and the ratings of players, etc, etc. Not based on how skillful the player is controlling them, but a series of arbitrary factors that they don't really go into describing. So it's a little bit strange, don't you think, that EA sit there and so fervently deny it, yet don't provide any proof that it's not there, and censor people who talk about it, and show that they have the mechanic in place to put it in if they want. So the evidence is already fairly substantially weighted against EA being right here. And whether or not it's true, and personally I do think it is true, and just if you want even more proof of this, go and Google Nepenthes and put in Nepenthes FIFA handicap, and he has a video where he shows some ridiculous stuff happening in FIFA, which really can only be explained by the handicap. And you know, that was a FIFA 12 video, but I think any of you out there who've played even the tiniest amount of FIFA 13 would have had moments where just utter random BS happens completely against the run of play, or you'll go into a game with your gold team and you'll be up against some silver side, and for no apparent reason Andreas Iniesta will just have a touch of an axe murderer all game, and 90 finishing Falcao will blaze one over from 5 yards, or you know, you have all of this stuff which really can't be explained in any other way, and it's very, very annoying, because I absolutely detest game mechanics that punish players for being good at the game. And this is why I hate, with a passion, death streaks in Modern Warfare 2 and 3. I mean, death streaks are the most stupid idea in Call of Duty history. Why on earth would you want to reward a player for being bad at a game and punish a player for being good at a game? Think about what that signal sends out. So you've taken time out of your life, you've got to really enjoy a game, you've played it a lot, and you've been good at it, and the game developer punishes you for playing their game a lot. And I've never understood the mentality for this. I mean, it's just absolutely brainless. I mean, just remember back to Painkiller in Modern Warfare 2, if any of you guys played that. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys who follow me played Call of Duty. You could shoot a guy 3 times with a sniper rifle and not kill him. I mean, this is a one-hit kill bullet. He could chew 3 sniper bullets and then mow you down. And the only reason he could do that was because he's completely sucked at the game and had died 4 times in a row, and now all of a sudden got triple health because he sucked at the game. And, you know, the handicap really does do exactly the same thing. It punishes players for having spent time in the game and become good at it, and it punishes them for being good at the game. And I absolutely hate mechanics that do that. It completely defeats the point of gaming. You know, gaming is about having fun. Gaming is about having, you know, skill levels and going out there and seeing how good you are and beating people who are worse than you. And then when you do run into someone who's better than you and he beats you, go, never mind, he was better than me. I'll learn from that. I'll improve, whatever. You know, having handicaps and death streaks, etc., etc., really does completely and utterly defeat the point of games. And I just want EA to come out and show us proof. Because if you're so adamant that it doesn't exist, why are you so reluctant to show us proof that it doesn't? And why do you censor people who talk about it? You know, it's very, very strange how EA deal with this. I mean, surely if there's so much negative press about a certain aspect of your game, you would go out of your way to disprove it. I mean, you would, you know, uproot trees, you'd do anything possible to show that it isn't true. And the fact that they just sit there and go, nope, we're not going to do that, but also we're going to ban you from talking about it in the first place, that's incredibly suspicious. So just their behaviour in general would make me believe that there is one. But, you know, there's so many times. I mean, even in this game, you saw some absolutely horrendous bobbles. I mean, you know, John had started this game really well. He was knocking the ball around. All of a sudden, I have a counter-attack. The ball bobbles around. It hits Thiago Silva and flies in the net. I mean, that is so unlucky. And in isolation, moments like that, you might think, oh, that's just a bit of bad luck. But when you actually sit down and look through all of your past games, and I have quite a unique position to be able to do this, because obviously I record a lot of FIFA footage, and then when I'm looking at tutorial footage, I go through and I sift through all of the goals I score and concede, and you begin to see patterns, you begin to see stupid things happening time after time after time. And when you actually look back and think, it's very strange. That's all I'm going to say. It's incredibly strange how consistent these errors are. And there's only two ways to explain it. One is incredibly bad game design, and they've just got this, you know, system, these foibles in, which it means every now and again your keepers throw one in for no apparent reason. And I mean, right there, for example, that bubble could have gone absolutely anywhere, but it dropped straight to the striker. I mean, fortunately, John can't finish his dinner, so the keeper saved it. But you begin to see what's happening. Bubbles just drop to strikers. You know, the ball rattles off the post, off the line, and then your keeper throws in a P-roller. And it's a bit too much evidence to just dismiss offhand. So, guys, I'd be really interested to hear what you have to say about this, because it's a pretty controversial topic, because you've got people who completely deny it full stop, and they go, well, it's not happening. EA say it isn't, so ergo it's not there. And then you've got other people who provide evidence and say, well, what's this then? Why is this happening? And I would urge you to go and check out the Nepenthes video. It is really, really interesting to see, because there is some very, very strange stuff here. But, you know, if there is a handicap, and personally I do think there is, because there's just some ridiculous stuff that happens in FIFA that you can't really explain, I sincerely hope they just sack it off and completely remove it, preferably in a patch for FIFA 13, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. But hopefully for the next FIFA, because it just completely defeats the point of video gaming. If you can't trust a game to be impartial and, you know, give a level playing field for everyone, so it's based on skill who wins rather than some arbitrary defined game mechanic, then there's really no point in playing the game, because it's just a frustrating experience, because you know you're good at a game and you know that the game is openly trying to screw you over at times. So I just really hope that if this isn't a factor, EA come out and say this isn't true and show proof of this, because at the moment they really haven't done that. And it's because they're so closed about the subject that enables all of this speculation to take place. I mean, if you are that adamant that it doesn't exist, please come out and show us and nip this thing in the bud and stop all of this once and for all. But until EA actually go out and take that step, it's going to leave massive speculation open, and the fact that they're so secret about it makes you even more suspicious that there is a handicap. But guys, once again, I'd like to thank you so much for listening to the video. I want to hear what you guys think. Do you think there's a handicap? How severe do you think it is? And do you have any examples of it happening if you do? But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. And as always, have a great day.